Can I ask you, what is the thing that actually attracts you to be involved in playing gamelan?
I just find music exciting. I just really love listening to it and therefore really love playing it, pretty much. Kind of simple as that.
I find it a challenge to start with. I found it a real challenge to hear the tune. You're saying that you have to work as a team. I like the fact that there are 15 people in the room, and as a culmination of everybody's part, you get the tune. So if there are people up there, then it doesn't work as well. I think I like the teamwork.
And has that led you to any kind of interest in other parts of Indonesian culture?
I took up dancing. I was again a classical dancer when I was growing up. I did a lot of dancing as a child, and as part of the project that I did when I went to Bali for my university studies, was looking at the distinction or sort of similarities between the music and the dance, the relationship between the music and the dance, which is very different. There isn't anything like that in Western culture. So that intertwined relationship, and I just loved the costumes and loved the movements, and so I took that up, I think.
Does it help being learning the dance? Does it help you playing the music, or the other way around?
It does, because I listen differently. I listen for different things, and then when I go back and play the music, then I've got that cue as well. And I find the music helps me dance more than the dance helps the music, because I know what the sounds I should be hearing to what movement. So I almost find as though the music tells me what the movement should be.
Yes, supporting one another.
Yeah.
And even just seeing the gamelan is it's quite an introduction to sort of Balinese culture, I suppose. Even if you don't know anything about Bali, you can see this beautifully carved instruments that sort of, really bold colours, put a contrast to just people can see as well. And it's nice to go and visit Bali and then see, well, there's so much beautiful carving and different materials, and it is really sort of everywhere, and it's quite a refreshing sort of architecturally really to go over there and just to see all these beautifully carved, whether it's wood or stone or so that I guess was intriguing from getting into Balinese music and then going and seeing more sort of other Balinese art as well, shadow puppets as well.
You mentioned about the social aspect of gamelan playing. How has that developed within the group over the time you play?
Well, I suppose the group's actually quite an interesting mix of people, isn't it? Really, it's probably. I guess we all sort of see each other regularly, and it has become like quite a social thing, hasn't it? And quite a lot of the time, people go to the pub afterwards, or meet up for other social occasions, go to parties and things occasionally. So we've all got something in common, even though we're all sort of quite different people, because we've got this gamelan in common. But I suppose the fact that we've got the gamelan in common means that there's probably some other reasons why we all came to this group, isn't there? That's probably why we all get on pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's quite inclusive.
Yeah, I think so, hopefully.
I didn't actually notice that in terms of the ethnic diversity of the groups that I've seen. How do you feel about that? Because you're all mainly, we come from a similar kind of group, don't you, ethnic group?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So have you ever considered involving Indonesians or Southeast Asians in the group yourself?
Fantastic, many of them wanted to join. I mean, anybody basically can join if they just sort of ask Andy and if they can play a little bit. Or even if they never played before, they go to the community group. I mean, over the past, we have had, slightly more diverse makeup of the group. But it is a bit lacking in Indonesians playing. I think it would be really good to get some Indonesians playing, but maybe there isn't that many here that are keen to play gamelan. Maybe if they come here, then they're coming here maybe to have a change from their culture, I don't know. Maybe they come over here and go and join some Western groups and find that really novel and exciting. Maybe.
That's quite interesting in the dynamic of your relationship with a group. You've got your abstraction of the music. You've got the social interaction between yourselves. And I also asked you about your interest in Indonesian culture. So the third one, the interest in Indonesian culture, seemed to me from what you were saying that it's actually quite limited. You haven't actually gone right into it because if you've got a Balinese dancer working with you, how do you, in a sense, use her as a resource to enter the culture?
We probably haven't taken advantage of that. I suppose occasionally we've done some functions for function gigs with more of an Indonesian audience, haven't we, occasionally? And that was interesting. But yeah, we haven't really immersed ourselves in it.
No.
So the interesting thing is that it is actually a British social activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to a world social activity.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
See, that's the interesting thing about these groups. They're actually very, very Anglo-Saxon in many ways, still. And so the perspective is also very Anglo-Saxon. So that kind of interests me because when we actually just always talk about diversity in London and everything, it actually isn't, because I've worked with so many diverse groups, and they all kind of keep within their little ethnic comfort zones, really, because that's obviously what we're used to.
But not when we went to Bali, we did.
Not when you went to Bali. That was the only time, right?
Do you think, because I wasn't there, do you think you maybe took more of the culture when you came back in there for a little bit and it's worn off?
Well, yeah, maybe. I think when we were there, a lot of us tried to sort of learn a bit of the language. Some of us could speak it a little bit before. And I suppose, yeah, things like that have worn off a little bit, but I have to brush up on the Indonesian next time we go. I think it would be good if, next time we go, I think if we do make more of an effort with the language, that will help, certainly, the getting more into the sort of Balinese social life over there, really, because I guess it is a little bit of a barrier, trying to just point and communicate with, pidgin Indonesian and pidgin English. I mean, it's quite good fun giving it a go, but it's only so far you can go with that, I suppose. And when more of us can speak better Indonesian, then that'll be easier, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about when we have Indonesian teachers come over, the preparation, sort of the group mentality, the work ethic changes, and changes for a good while afterwards.
And then it wears off.
And then it wears off, yeah.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Maybe, do you think maybe it sort of wears off to a lesser extent each time? Maybe you were going in the right direction. Maybe that's just optimistic. No, actually, I think that there has been a fundamental change in the way that we learn, because we did used to learn in a sort of more English style with notation and little chunks and phrases, and now we don't really learn like that. We do learn more like the Balinese teachers taught us, so I guess that's a change in that direction.